Hello, my name is Scott. I'm a millennial and my wife and I paid off our house, and I'm here to give you my best advice based on all the years that we have been homeowners. There's not really any specific order, so we're just going to start and not waste your time. When you pick a house out, make sure you are picking a house that you both like. Don't rush into it. Make sure you and your spouse, or you and your soon to be spouse, are picking a home based on what you like, not what other voices are telling you in the world. And also, once you have your house, do not worry about keeping up with the Joneses. If people in your life are telling you, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, oh my goodness, oh, this, do what you want to do with your own property. Those who are so worried about keeping up with the Joneses have nothing better to do with their time than to nitpick about other people's lives or property. And you don't need to involve yourself in that, and you don't need to get caught up in keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses, that's not a life that's worth living, my friends, because when you're constantly nitpicking at something, oh, there's a scuff on the wall, oh, we better get this done outside, or other people are saying this to you, you have to just in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day, that is not the most important. Keeping up with the Joneses, making sure your house is perfect for your neighbors, is not what you should be prioritizing. And those who say you should, close your ears off to them, because they do not. Those are normally people that are older. They are normally people that care about what their neighbors think instead of just living their own lives. So don't do that. Don't allow yourself to get caught up and swept up with that whole, you got to keep things perfect. My friends, nobody's perfect. One person's house that looks perfect is another person's house that they would say, oh, I would do this different. Or I'll do this different. It's your home. It's your home. Do what you want with your home. Because at the end of the day, there's a time for everything. There's a time to sing, there's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to laugh, there's a time to fix up your home, there's a time to not. You decide when that time is, not your family, not your neighbors, not your friends. You and your spouse decide when that time is. And that time normally comes when you financially are set. You got money saved aside. You don't have credit card debts. You're done with leasing on your vehicles. That's normally when the time is. Things are going to fall apart. Things are going to break. There's going to be tons and tons of things that you are going to have to fix. I mean, experiences, pipes leaking, hot water heater going out, water flooding in the basement. Though a good way to stop that, normally it's caused by spoutings that are clogged, or the spouting drain system isn't directing the water far enough from the property. So there's some things you can do there. But radon test your home. You know, if the radon levels are too high, then you either want to do it yourself, or hire someone to install a radon unit to basically pull out the radon that's in the basement, because over a course of a long period of time, it actually can cause lung cancer. So, hey, if you don't smoke, guess what? You still get lung cancer. Depends on the area you live and how bad your radon is, because radon rises from the ground. Brand new roof we had to put on it because the roof started leaking. I mean, it's just endless. It's just endless. So if something can go wrong, it's going to go wrong with a property. Even people that I know that buy almost new homes, things seem to go wrong, though it's less likely because, you know, pipes and stuff are normally new. But in an older home, especially the older you get, and the less work that's been done to it, there's going to be more problems. So set aside money for everything. So you need to have a fund, and this fund is never touched unless something goes out, like your appliances, or you have actual house problems, not your mother or your father saying, oh my, you really should repaint this, or oh, you should do this. No, house problems are 100% house problems that you have no choice but to fix. A leaking pipe, a leaking roof, siding that's blowed off and it's exposed, like rotting wood, termites. These are things that you want to do. So not things that people or I should say things that you have to do, not things that you want or what people want you to do. People got to live their own lives, my friends. So have a fund for that and continuously add to that fund. I don't care if that fund grows to 10, 20, $30,000 over time. Add to that fund because there will be a day when those big things actually happen and it sucks. It really sucks. And this is another reason why not keep up with the Joneses, because if you're keeping up with the Joneses and you're spending all your money to make things look perfect on the outside or inside, and then things go wrong and you have no money, boop, credit card, boop, take out another mortgage, boop. Don't do it, my friends. Let the Joneses be in debt or let the Joneses squawk about and care about what other people think. At the end of the day, when they're gone, somebody's going to buy their house and change everything to what they want. And it's just, yeah, don't worry about that, my friends. Another big thing is insurance and property taxes, and all this stuff is going to slowly keep going up. If you financially plan and you think, okay, so insurance is going to cost us $1,700 a year. Okay, great, we'll budget that $1,700. I hate to say, but you can add nothing to your house. You can do nothing, and boop, 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 they just increase it. It's like if it's healthcare, if it's mechanics, if it's insurance, doctors, if it's lawyers, whatever, prices will go up no matter what, even if you stay the same and your house stays the same. It sucks, but welcome to life. So you need to plan ahead. Oftentimes, every year I up, back when we didn't pay off our house, and well, I mean, still with insurance, still have insurance and stuff, but so every year I increase it. So because it increases. So every year after I pay the bill, I then already calculate, okay, it's probably going to be this. And it's sad we live in a world like that. It's sad we have to do this, but you know what? It's better to be prepared than to be shafted. So that's what I do is, let's say it's $1,700 for house insurance for the year. Okay. Now I'm going to plan that it's going to be $1,900 or $1,850 because chances are it's going to be, and it sucks. So you got to plan. And a lot of people that have a mortgage, you have your escrow. It's kind of nice in a way there because it's kind of adjusted. Versus when you pay off your house, then you actually got to really watch yourself. So in an escrow, your mortgage and your insurance and I forget what else was in there. It's all kind of combined and then kind of adjusts each year, which is kind of nice in a way because it's more of a softer blow when things are more expensive. But when you actually pay off your house and now you have to force yourself to save, it's a little different. And they get you hard, especially when you pay off your house. The insurance companies get you hard. It's crazy, for no reason. It's ridiculous, but it's the world we live in. So plan for that. Plan. And this is why I say, don't worry about doing everything that you want done. Focus on what needs done. Need, a leaking roof. If there's a little wood chipping or paint chipping outside, who cares? It's not a need. You need to focus on the needs, my friends, not the wants. Something big that a lot of people will probably not tell you, but make double payments. And this doesn't mean you make double your actual payment. If you could, that's amazing. So let's say you take out a mortgage for 30 years and your payment is $2,000 to make it simple. If you could, it's a little tricky when I get into this. What I would do is I would set a fund aside for extra mortgage payment, an extra mortgage payment fund. I wouldn't add the extra payments every month, so let's say you're paying $2,000, but technically you could put 2,500. I wouldn't do 2,500 every month. I would set that $500 in a separate account each month, and then once it builds up to like 5,000, then take like 3,000 of that and apply it towards the mortgage as an extra payment. And that is just gives you a little blanket. Then you got that, 2,000 kind of set there for like the oh crap moments, like something psycho out of the ordinary. It's just kind of a peace of mind thing, if you will. Now, here's something that is very, very good. If your mortgage is $2,000 a month, don't pay $2,000 a month in one shot. This gets a little tricky when it's like an escrow and like everything's like automated setup. It's a little harder. Like if you just have everything automatic, it gets a little harder. But if you would pay $1,000 and $1,000 within that same month, you will pay off your mortgage much faster. So you might say, wait, if it's $2,000 and I pay $2,000 at the end of the month, but if I pay $1,000 and $1,000 in the same month, it's still $2,000. That makes no sense. It's because interest, kind of like credit cards, interest in most mortgages accumulate daily. So let's say if every 2 weeks you make $1,000 payment, you're doing $2,000 that month, unless it's 5 weeks. So you could just focus on, twice a month. If you would do it, let's say the 12th of the month, and then you make $1,000 the 12th of the month, and then $1,000 at the 25th of the month. Let's say it's due the 28th. You will pay off your mortgage way faster than if you just simply do $2,000 at the end of the month, because you are charged daily for most mortgages, and it goes same with credit cards. This works with credit cards too. You're charged daily the interest. So you're making that $1,000 extra payment all those days or weeks sooner. You're actually helping yourself pay it off faster because you're taking away from that interest. That $1,000 is going towards your balance and interest versus just waiting for the interest to accumulate the whole month and then you make a payment the whole month and you make a payment. It sounds confusing to a lot, but if you can't, it's the best thing that you can do is make 2 payments, the same amount of money, just split it in half. Or if you could do 3 times a month, so split it 3 times. That gets a little annoying for people. We did it a lot, and then we did extra payments on top of that. So if it was $2,000, we would split it in, or I would do it since, I manage all that stuff. I would split it 3 times a month. So 3 payments a month that equal the same. And then I would also do an extra $200, $300 at the end of the month on top of the regular. And I'm telling you that's the key. It's the key. You don't worry about the Joneses. You worry about getting your home paid down, because that's the key. Your home is a liability until it becomes an asset. And it becomes an asset, I would say once it's paid off, it becomes an asset. Now, it is a depreciating but also increasing asset because, you got to put money into it and this and that versus like a rental. But that's a whole nother story. So that's another thing. And guess what? When you're financially set, here's another thing. Set money aside for home projects that you want to do now. So you have your savings, you have what must be done, you have now another fund for what you want to do. And don't put a lot of money in it. Don't worry about anybody else. I keep going back to that because that's one of the biggest things I see in most people's lives. You either have your parents or parents-in-law or your neighbor or your friends say you should do this, and then you get in your head, oh, well, I really should. Even if something should be done, do it when you can, under your own financial time. Not under other people's timelines. Let them live their own lives. Now, you can't tell someone that is like that. Somebody that cares about money and finances and that's one of the biggest things. Oh, you should really keep up with this or really do that. You can't really tell them like to like just mind their own business because they think they know it all. So you kind of just have to let them say what they say and just let it go in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day, just be glad you're not like that. So focus on other people, like focus on you. Like focus on you and your spouse and building your marriage and your family. Like there's more important things than fixing things that you'll get to in your own time. So focus on paying off your debts, focus on paying off the mortgage, and focus on your family. Another thing, electric bills, this just gets into can be common sense of just turn out your lights, don't leave lights on more than you have to. Replace all your light bulbs with LED lights. Be strategic about your heating and cooling. So don't just like leave the air on if you're not home, or leave the heat on. Like if you come home and your house is hot, so what? Then turn your AC on. Your body would naturally adjust. So you'll come home, it feels so hot. Your body would naturally adjust when you turn on the AC then. Like don't keep it on when you're gone. Like why would you waste that energy? The only time you would keep it on when you're gone is if it's like really hot, getting close to the evening, and your bedroom is upstairs and it takes longer for that to cool off. So then you would turn it on before you would leave. So, when you sleep, you can sleep with it cooler. Because I don't know about you, but sleeping with it hot, a hot house sucks. It's not fun. So energy wise, yeah. Another gimmick is companies and people will try and tell you that every year you need to get things serviced. I am telling you, my grandparents and tons of people like never had things serviced, and things last pretty much about the same time. So, should you have things serviced? Yes, I would say every like 3 to 5 years, have your furnace, have your hot water, have different things serviced every 3 to 5 years, not every year, because it's a scam. So now depends who you ask. Some people say, "Oh, well, you gotta do it every year." If that's what they want to do, let them do it every year. But let other people do it every 3 to 5 years when it's due. Like I remember a long time ago, because I moved out when I was 18 and bought my own trailer. When I was 18, and I did that not because of my family. Like I love my family, they treated me great and everything. It's just I wanted to be on my own, like for fun. Like why not? And I remember long ago, like my grandparents telling me stuff about like when you're a homeowner and stuff, that like the scams, and like now it's like everything's a gimmick. Everybody wants money for everything. So, um, yeah, 3 to 5 years, get things serviced. And I know people that go 5 to 10 years and they have the same problems as everybody else. It's actually kind of funny, that a lot of people that don't have things serviced, their stuff lasts longer than people that have someone come in and touch around at it. It's a little interesting, but so, tomatoes, tomatoes. 3 to 5 years is my recommendation. Some people say every year. Let them, if that's what they want to think, and if that's what makes them feel comfortable, let them. But 3 to 5 years, and save for that, because sometimes it's not cheap. You don't need to lease your vehicles. You don't need expensive vehicles. Here's another big thing. A lot of people, when they get a house, they think, "Oh, gotta upgrade. Let's upgrade a vehicle." No, just drive cheap stuff. Just drive cheap stuff until your mortgage is paid off, or until things are down. Pay off your credit cards, please, as well. Like just ask the 10-year older version of yourself. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, YOLO. What if I'm not around 10 years from now?" Well, what if you are? What if you are? Make choices that the 10-year-older version of yourself would be proud. And talk to yourself. Ask yourself, pretend that you are talking with a 10-year-older version of yourself. What would that look like? Where would that guy or girl want you to be? That 10-year-older, wiser, smarter, hopefully more mature version of yourself, what would they say to different circumstances, for your marriage, for your wealth, for your health, and everything? What would they say? So, and then you can, live kind of a life like that, and it's definitely helpful in a household. Hardwood floors, if you got hardwood floors, they're beautiful. Not if you have pets. Nope. Natural hardwood floors and dogs? Nope. Nope. Don't go well. Natural hardwood floors are softer. And we have a Sheltie, and let's just say nope, because just them by like if they run or move or quickly turn around, their nails dig in and scratches it up, and eventually it looks, you know. And this is something that people that don't have natural hardwood floors, they don't understand. Like that other wood that's like it's almost like the fake wood. I forget what they call it. It's not like actual natural. Like not natural hardwood floors would be wooden floors that were put in when the house was built. Natural hardwood floors. Not the like ones that you stick together, not the like the newer the woods that are installed that again, I forget the name of it. Those hold up way better than natural hardwood floors. So those, you know, that's not bad. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice for a couple years though. So like the natural hardwood floors look amazing for a couple years, but after that, yeah, carpet's just more simple. You know, if you want to do a place where your dogs or pets, I don't know about cats, but dogs specifically aren't really at, then yeah, probably. Um, it's beautiful. It looks nice, but looks fade. Can't always go by looks, my friends. So, carpet. Keep it clean, vacuum. Carpet's great. Don't do what you want to do with your house. Do what you need to do right away. So, do the things that you actually need. Like need to do, not want. As a homeowner, this is optional. But security cameras and motion lights, to me, I view as one of the most important things that anybody can add. Because I don't care what area you live in. You know, I was told in this area that we live, oh, it's a safe place. You almost could leave your doors open and all this stuff. Well, my wife had her car broken into before. My vehicle setting out had my windshield shot with a BB gun before. Scratches alongside of vehicles that I've left out overnight or for a couple days along the road. My wife's vehicle's all scratched up randomly for whatever reason. On security cameras, like we live in a supposedly great area, my security cameras pick up people walking at all times of the night. Sometimes people with their hoods up in groups, kind of hovering around vehicles, looking in my wife's vehicle window and neighbors' vehicle windows. I'm telling you, like it's crazy. Even in an area that supposedly I was told is an amazing, safe area. I mean, it is kind of funny though. Now we hear, like, since I work from home, I hear sirens or ambulances almost every single day now. It's crazy. I don't care where you live, how safe you think you live. Security cameras and motion sensor lights and strobe lights and go to the extreme measures. I don't care if your neighbors think you're crazy. I don't care if your parents-in-law think you're crazy. I don't care if your family thinks you're crazy. Hey, your wife might even think you're crazy, but at least you're being safe and protective, and that's very important in this day and age. Lock your doors, lock your vehicles, please. Take this from somebody that has a lot of stuff. And, you know, a lot of it's my business now, you know, because now our home is pretty much our business. And while some people stick their nose up at that, instead of being proud that, hey, like, started our own business from scratch, keep in mind that stuff is just stuff. You don't need a lot of stuff. Like, if you start having too much stuff that you can't fit your vehicle in your garage, or you start to have too much stuff where your basement is starting to get full, get rid of stuff. Don't collect. Don't accumulate. It's stupid. Stuff is stupid. And take it from somebody that loves stuff. And my business is around reviews and products and stuff. It's not worth it. Just stuff is stuff that accumulates dust. That is nothing but worthless stuff. Here's something that I wish I would have done long ago. The rich and the wealthy buy stuff that they absolutely love and has value, but they don't buy much of it. The poor and the middle class buy a lot of stuff that has little value, but they get a lot of it. They go to yard sales, flea markets, and all this and find all this stuff. Oh, it's only $5. It's only $10. It's only $1. It's only 25 cents. But then they accumulate tons and tons of stuff that really doesn't have much value. So you find your balance. You find your balance of buy stuff with value. Maybe it costs more money, but it's less. And then you have that object setting for years and years to come. Instead of having a shelf full of anywhere from $1 to $25 items, just a shelf completely full, you have one item that's $150 or $200. That's something I wish I would have learned long ago. You don't need stuff. You can have stuff, but that stuff should have value. And when it has value, you don't have a lot of it. You know, the rich don't have to go buy in bulk. When they need something, they get it. The poor, everything's bulk candy, bulk this, bulk that, bulk. You don't need it. So focus on value, and you'll have stuff, but it will be less, and it will be worth something, and it will be more appreciative than having a shelf full of slop. I know. You're like, yeah, well, I love my stuff. So did I. Stuff. It's just junk stuff. Don't buy something because it's on sale. Buy something because you absolutely love it and you don't have a lot of it. If you have a lot of stuff sitting around, you don't need anything else. Or sell all the stuff you have sitting around and get 1 to 3 items that you really, really love that have value and will hold value. At the end of the day, live your life. Don't let anyone try and live it for you. Be happy, be healthy, be wealthy, be wise according to your family. Did you know that when you get married, that you and your spouse are a new family? You are a new family. You know, the whole saying is, welcome to the family, you know, parents and mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, and, you know, from both sides, you're joining the family. No, you're not. Now, if you're biblically creating your own family now. So now you and your spouse, and if you have kids, focus on you, your spouse, and your kids, not your mom, not your dad, grandma, grandpa, mother-in-law, father-in-law, neighbors, friends. Focus first needs to be built on your family, because you now started a new family. You are a part of your wife's family. You are a part of your husband's family, but you have your own family now that comes first above them. It's something that people can't seem to get in their heads. If you do that, you will build a strong marriage, have a great relationship with your kids and your spouse, and it's what's lacking in the world. So there's just a little bit of advice. And guess what? All of my advice is worth as much as you paid for it. Yeah. Let me say that again. All of my advice is worth to you as much as you paid for it. You paid nothing. So if you don't like my advice, guess what? You got it for free. So take it from somebody that has been in a marriage for 10 plus years, that busted his butt to pay off our house. You know, one thing that we did right was my wife put down a nice chunk towards our mortgage when we got married, and then I paid off the rest. Our income combined, we paid off a couple $1,000s of our income combined, but then one year I went psycho. I worked 17-hour days, 7 days a week. I went legit psycho in my own business. And within that year, because of my income alone, I paid off our mortgage. I haven't been able to do that again. Like that was a crazy year of business. Putting business yeah. But what you do, putting money down, saving up, you know, is important too. So if you can put a lot of money down towards your mortgage, that puts you leaps and bounds above other people. The average person pays off their house, I think it's like 63 to 65 years old. Well, the average family pays off their home at 63 to 65 years old. Yeah, let that sink in. So I'm sure there's probably more. Ask your questions if you guys have any questions. Some people will agree with everything I say. Some people agree with some, and some people will disagree with everything I say, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I've been, if it comes to relationships or comes to the house, um, I worked hard. We paid off our house. I stayed loyal. And so if people disagree or whatever, it's okay. Um, I'm just saying what worked. You got to come up with your own plan, my friends. So